Happy Saturday morning, folks. Brad here from Squeaky Clean Comics, and I did my first cleaning video yesterday. You guys kind of seemed to dig it, so I thought maybe I would do another video, but I'm just going to basically clean a bunch of books and shoot the poop with you guys about, certain questions, I guess, that kind of came up yesterday while I in the comment sections of different things. How did I get cleaning and pressing? That was kind of the one that I had heard a few times. So what I did is, it was around the pandemic, but I had purchased a first appearance of Cable from a gentleman. I think he was in Halifax. I can't remember the guy's name. I wish I could. And it had a kind of subscription crease in it. And I guess it kind of was a subscription crease, which is really weird because me and my buddy Derek, he found a first appearance of Cable in his garage because he's a comic book guy and he's got boxes, and he wasn't even sure where that one came from, and it had the same subscription crease that mine did. Anyways, very weird coincidence. So when I bought the book off of Buddy, he's like, well, if you don't buy it, and this is when prices were pretty high, he's like, I'll just send it off and get cleaned and pressed, and then it'll be a 9.8 and blah blah blah. And I was like, well, what do you mean pressed? And so he's like, you never heard of it? And I'm like, no. And so I went to a video and saw the cleaning process, and I thought that was so cool. And obviously this is the part that I dig the most of it. So I basically spent like 3 weeks going through videos, and there's this guy named Reggie Collects who had some cool videos, but I'll tell you, you can watch 10 different videos of 10 different guys doing this, and they all have their own technique and their own way of going about it. Some people use humidity chambers, some people don't, some people use chemicals, some people don't. Oh, that's a nice dirty back. I'm pretty basic: rub, scrub, throw it in the press, throw it in the bagging board. But the rubbing and scrubbing, if you just saw how much dirt just came off of that spine there, you know what I mean? Like this by itself improves the look of the book tremendously. But yeah, like there's like a stain. If that's a stain, there's chemicals that would probably remove that. But I don't mess with that stuff too much. I'm just basically want to get it looking a little better than the way I started with, and the press will straighten out any little defects that are there. And I'm just gonna get, I don't want to take the chance of taking off any color there, so I'm just gonna go real gentle in there. Boom, boom. I can kind of tell this would be a book that color would pop off of. So gently, gently, gently. You don't want to lose color. And here you can go a little harder. And then a little harder. And then down here you can give her a good scrubbing. And here. But yeah, so I did a bunch of research. I watched a ton of videos. I grabbed a bunch of dirty old books. And I bought all the tools that they told you to buy, and I practiced for a couple weeks, and then I was like, okay, well now I'm gonna probably get into the pressing side of it. There we go, nice squeaky clean Captain Marvel. And then we're gonna go to a nice Avengers 23. So onto the pressing. I had purchased my first press when the world shut down. My first press was in the mail in March of 2020 when COVID hit and basically everything shut down. That got to me pretty quickly. And so while I was trying to figure out, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because I'm an independent website designer. And luckily, I kind of did pretty decent during that time. And I was able to take that and put a lot of that money into comic books, which have all decreased in value tremendously. So that turned out to be just horrible. No, it was all right. My collection is, I'm very happy with my collection and where it's at. But yeah, did I spend $2,000 on certain comics that I'm not going to get $2,000 out of ever again, probably for at least a decade? Yeah, I did that a couple times. But you live, you learn. I've also spent money on comics that have gone up tremendously in value. So It is very much a win and lose type of game that comic book collecting is. I like the fact that I can take this and increase the value with my own hands. This one looks really good in the back, but you can tell, I don't know if you can see, there's some dirt there. Like, as clean as that looks, here, new piece, just up the spine, just real quick up the spine, just to show you. Yeah, it's not much, but it's definitely a bunch of dirt that was on here that came off. Same up here, too. So when the press came in, obviously I didn't jump right into it. I took a bunch of just garbage books, and I started, people had recommendations, and the sweet spot basically is about 165 degrees for the press. And some people are like, oh, you press it for 12 hours. Oh, you press it for a minute and then open it up. It's like, I'm like, there's so many weird techniques. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm just going to do it my way and see what I get the best results with. And so, like, at one point I was doing it for a half hour for some of the books. And then I was like, okay, that's too much. Okay. So that book looks really good now. It was a little bit dirty, but now it looks really nice. So when the presses came in, I would cook a book just to see how, like, obviously a garbage book. It wasn't a book that I cared about. But I would basically try to damage the book. Ooh, nice Cap 102. Beautiful white cover. But I'd try to mess up the book and then kind of dial it back a bit. And then over time, and talking to different guys and how they do it and all that jazz as far as pressing goes, I came up with 6 minutes aside. That's what I use, 6 minutes aside, and then turn it off and basically leave it off for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and that's how long I put into pressing books as far as that goes. But the cleaning side of it for me is the very therapeutic part. I love this side of it. It's a real good breakup in my day from designing websites or cataloging comic books or whatever I've got going on. I can always just kind of shut everything off, come sit over here for a half hour, plow through 10 books. No, maybe not 10 in a half hour, but plow through a few books and then get them ready for the press. And boom, boom, boom. I'll just get a little touch-ups down here. And get in here. And then gently give it this little Mr. Clean Magic Erase rub. I don't know if you saw, but there was a bunch of dirt up here that popped right off. I'm going to go real gentle on this guy, but I can feel it's got some grime in there. So just real gentle because I do not want to lose that color. But this is adding a gloss to it. You can see it as it kind of goes through. And like right here, you could feel there was some dirt right on his knee. Alright, I'll get a little scrubby in here. I really don't want to hit any of that red though. Holy jumpins. Okay. Now, that looks great, except the tanning, which I can't do a whole lot about. But we'll give her a little scrub anyway, just to clean up whatever dirt may be on here. And again, don't really want to get too into the reds. Don't want to lose any of that color. It's beautiful. It's popping. So I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because it's already pretty good. I just don't want to mess it up. So there we go. And that is that. So as far as the pressing side of it, just over time grew it, and now I have 3 presses, and I can plow through probably, I can run the cycle 6 times a day if I have enough books. So I'm always looking for books. If you got a bunch of dirty old Bronze Age books, you can tell what I collect through these videos and through the channel. So if you have anything that's what I'm into and you want some squeaky clean books in exchange for your dirty books, that would be awesome. That's kind of the point. I would love to trade some nice graded books for a stack of dirty old Bronze Age books, but I don't want, they got to be fairly decent in terms of clean up ability, and like if the spine is really bad, it's still gonna be a rough book, regardless of the clean and press. Like this guy here's, it's a good example. Like it's probably in the 4 or 5 range, regardless of whether I clean and press it. It's probably not going to pop a whole lot, but I want it to look as good as it can on my box, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of a rub and scrub. But yeah, that's about it for today as far as that goes. I'm going to add a bunch of new comics to the website later on today. So you know what? You might actually get a second video out of me today, because I want to add, I got a big stack of stuff that I've cleaned and pressed. All that RJ and Jeff Rothney and that new fella Alex that I bought from. So there's a ton of bronze and silver, marble, even some gold. I think there's a couple 10 centers going up. There's I think a Jimmy Olsen and a Challengers of the Unknown, which I'm getting a bunch of those. I never really collected them before. The only reason I started collecting them is they got a real nice high grade one, just a random, at the Comic Expo. And then I keep finding other ones that are in pretty good shape. So I am going to clean and press those and throw those on the website as well. But yeah, that is it for today, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.